Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 78 of Pokemon Horizons titled A Fierce Fight Against Entei. The noble roar of flame just dropped, and in this episode, our heroes come across the Entei they got info on last episode. What's gonna happen here? Let's talk about it. This episode's a strange one to talk about. It's an episode that contains what feels like a massive fake out that we don't learn about till the very end, and I don't know how to feel about that. Our heroes go talk to the customer that Mamoru told them had seen the Entei, and after a bit more investigation, after he says that many people have seen them, they narrow down its location. A beached Huntail, which is a deep sea Pokemon usually, tips them off to the fact that it might be an underwater volcano that might be coming in soon, which is where Entei probably is. So, as they wait for it at nighttime, that's exactly what happens as the underwater volcano erupts and our heroes arrive in a nearby island where they see Entei. They try to talk to it at first, but it doesn't seem interested, so they begin to battle it to gain its respect to hopefully get to talk to it afterward. After some fighting where Entei shrugs off most of its attack and attacks with sacred fire as well as some supernatural powers, it seemingly gains enough respect to our heroes to listen to what they have to say. But this is where the fake out happens, because Terapagos doesn't resonate with it, none of the other 6 hero Pokemon even come out of their Pokeball, and that's because it turns out this is the wrong Entei. It seems that this Entei was just here because it's a new island that was forming, and we get to see it with its counterpart Raikou and Suicune, who stay nearby in the brand new island before leaving in the morning. So like I said, I don't know how to feel about that. It felt like 80% of the episode was almost wasted with a battle that doesn't turn out to do anything in the end. That's fine for the most part. I don't have any issues with that. Not every encounter has to lead to our heroes getting a new 6 hero Pokemon. But I do have a theory as to why this might be happening, which I'll touch on soon. The main important bits of this episode happen in the back half of this episode. After not seeing him for a long time, we finally see Amethio again. He is in the office of the president of the Exceed Company. He asks Crave about the Loquium since he can't seem to get access to the data on it, but Crave just tells him that Gibeon has it. When Amethio walks out, Spinel comes in and drops the bomb, that Amethio is Crave's son. Our heroes then also get a call from Briar, letting them know that she has heard that an Entei was spotted in Area 0. She shows our heroes the image of the combined Paradox Mons from the game, and she tells them that Gita should allow them to go. So, with our next location being set, our heroes are ready to head back to Paldea, and that's where we end this episode. So the theory that I was talking about earlier is that I think that recently, the animators and writers of the show were told that the next Pokemon mainline game might not come until 2026 for the 30th anniversary. So the writers would have realized that now they need to slow down the rate of the storytelling in order to facilitate this anime still being around. The last few episodes have been episodes where we get information about something, but the thing to advance the main plot doesn't really take place until the last few moments of the episode. The rest of the episode is either a character study or a battle, and it's fine for the episode, but it just doesn't make sense of how this show has typically been written. I feel like if the writers knew from the beginning that this show was going to be around for 4 years, then there's zero chance that they would have allowed our heroes to already capture 4 out of the 6 hero Pokemon this quickly. So I'm really interested to see if that is the case, how they'll slow down the rate of the story here. Is Rayquaza and Entei going to take a full year to capture? I'm really fascinated by this. In terms of the episode itself, I feel like this mislabeling of a Pokemon being a hero Pokemon should have happened earlier, right? It makes sense, especially for someone like Lapras, a more common Pokemon. Instead, I do find it strange that they did this with Entei. It feels like the Game Freak developers came up and said, hey, none of your hero Pokemon have anything to do with Scarlet and Violet, and that's what the anime is supposed to be promoting. So this is where the writers have had to make a change in the story that they originally had planned and turn Entei into Gouging Fire. This makes her a bit of a weird flashback, because the flashback that we saw when Ristle told her story was an Entei. Now, if you saw the anime Pokemon 2025 trailer, then you know that this is what Area 0 looks like. So Entei was definitely caught in Area 0, but it just doesn't make sense that the flashback has Entei, but it really ends up being Gouging Fire. There's going to be some explanation of how it was always Gouging Fire and people just had it wrong, or Area 0 caused it to turn into a Gouging Fire. Either way, it feels like a late, awkward shift, and it really pops up in the writing. At least finally our heroes are going to Area 0. That was at least set up a while back, so I'm glad to see that paying off and them coming back to the story thread. It seems like our heroes will have to prove themselves against Gita in order to be allowed to go to Area 0. And because of that, the next episode is a battle-focused episode where our heroes take on the Pokemon League. Except, I don't think they're taking on the whole league, I think it's just Gita. Either way, I am really fascinated to see how the battle is going to go. It'll be fun to watch some Gen 9 related stuff. Hopefully, it's done really well. But what about you guys? What did you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.